Is it a little alarming for you to receive a gift? Is it ever too soon to receive a gift?
Absolutely not. You should come with a gift. Why not?
Really?
That's how you court. Yes, show up with a gift.
Okay. What's a respectable first date gift?
I mean, there's tons of designers. There's thoughtful things. There's plane tickets. There's just so many.
Plane tickets like you get flew out?
It'll be we, because I'll come with a team. But, there's just ways.
We done been talking for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm hearing so many ad-libs from behind. Yes.
I'm just telling you.
We literally had this conversation on camera, and they was like, Cam, with your little cheap behind, don't just because you ain't spending it, that don't mean somebody else.
I mean, yeah, the right man. If people
don't man it.
I'm just saying men have to date within their caliber.
It goes down in the DMs. It goes down down in the DMs. Yo, Angela Simmons. That was Yo Gotti, who she used to date. They dated for a while, but going down in the DMs. If you check it out, she did a good interview with Cam Newton on his show last week, I believe it was. And I didn't even know that they dated before or went out before. But that's besides the point. Because like usual, and like before, we talked about dating and just how do you go about being a person. And wow, man, listen, whoa! The way she was talking, it's over my head, right? Because of course, Yo Gotti was a millionaire. I think her son's father, who had gotten killed years ago, had a couple of dollars and was doing stuff. And Cam Newton pointed out a couple of things to her. Said that her brother once said that she likes dating street guys. And, so she prefaced it as, no. I don't like dating street guys. I just like dating guys that are real. They got to be real, authentic. And then Cam said to her, well, how do you feel about dating? And so how can guys get in touch with you? She said, there's a lot of ways to get in touch with me. DMs, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember it all. Then he said to her, well, when is it too early to give someone a gift? And she said, it ain't never too early to give nobody a gift. Like as you saw in the clip before this. It's never too early to give anybody a gift. Hey, look, you can give us all kinds of luxury brands and different things you could do. And, it's good for a guy to come with a gift. So, what would that say to any prospective guy? Here it is. I'm tripping about multiple drinks. I guess she wouldn't even meet me at the anywhere. She wouldn't meet me at the hot dog stand. Because I'd be like, hold on now. You can get two. That's about it. But this is why when I say, even with social media, you have a lot of people who are younger, still in their 30s, although over 35, and we'll get to that in a second, but making all of these rules and then, or not making rules, but setting up these parameters because you have so many entertainers and people who have acquired wealth talking about what they do in their solar system, what they do in their atmosphere. Like another thing she said, well, if a guy is going to date me, so he said, she was like, yeah, he can fly me out, such as, trips or planes or whatever. And so Cam said, we can fly you out. So no, fly we out because I got a whole team that comes along with me. That right there to me was the most egregious, ridiculous part. What do you mean you got a whole team that comes with you? Now, if you say something like, you got security, okay, well, yeah, all right, got you. You pay for your own security. I'm paying for you. But remember, think about it. Angela Simmons has money, right? Not sure how much, but she has her own money, right? So if she's interested in another guy that obviously has money, why is he paying for her and her entire team? Because you know what we're going to do now? Now we all going to think like millionaires, like a Cam Newton or somebody. So just go along with the story. You got $10 million in your account. Maybe she has $3 or $4 million in her account. So you basically kind of like on the same level. Maybe famous, maybe not. Just got a couple of dollars. Why are you paying to fly her out? And then on top of that, why would you pay multiple extra thousands of dollars to fly her team. See, because when I think about her, team means publicist, stylist, hair person, makeup person, prize security, and her. So you got to get at least 6 tickets to see Angela Simmons. And I'm going to tell you why I have such an issue with that, even us thinking as millionaires right now. It's because Angela Simmons is about to be 39 years old. She's about to be 39 years old, I believe, at the end of the year. And this is the kind of way that people still talk. And, I know I'm over 50, but geez Louise, you're a woman, I call her a successful woman because she stayed in the limelight and she's been able to acquire, I'm assuming some wealth. But how in the world a woman that is almost 40 years old is still talking like that? Considering she's going to be attracting and most likely dealing with, because by her saying she's flying her and her team out, all y'all regular brothers, all 100,000 there brothers, you're out of here. So you don't even think about it because she's already plotting her chances to get with another man that has money. So, by her saying that already knocks a bunch of people out of the box. And she knows that. But think about how these people talk at such an old age. Yes, she may not be old, but this is the recalibration that people have to think about. The average lifespan of an American. Women live longer. White people live longer than black people. But let's just give everybody the life expectancy of 75. Well, it's really 73, I believe. 73. Let's just do easy math. 72. That means by the time you are 36, you are middle-aged. You are middle-aged. Like somebody like me and the homies, we talk about it all the time. We don't mince words. We know we in the end of the third, about to be fourth quarter, or maybe already in the fourth quarter. We know that. But to sit up and keep talking like this, and this is no shade on Angela Simmons, she's just the person that put the message out there, because I'm sure there's other people who feel that same way, just on a lower level. But the thing is, how in the world, when somebody is almost middle age with somebody else's child, so that means whatever guy takes this on, he got to take her on her, got to take on a team, got to do all of this other kind of stuff, and on top of that, has to help her with her young son. Even if you're rich, does it sound like that great of a deal? Because remember, we still thinking like we all out here got 10 million in our account. Does it sound like a good deal to you? And I know I'm talking to most of my homies, my men. Does that sound like a good deal to you? When you got 800,000 other younger, hotter, maybe with no kid issues out there in the world, or maybe somebody who's older, more mature, got their ish together and is just saying, hey, you're a good, decent man that has good standards, principles, a job, credit, a car, house, stuff like that. I want to be with you. And if you ever notice, like I said before, you never were, like I said last week with April Jones, you never hear these women talk like that. You never hear a woman say, hey, look, I'll just take a great guy. I'm used to this and this. But if a guy's an engineer, if a gentleman's a principal, if he's some type of educator, and that doesn't mean he has to be sitting in a classroom. He may work in a system where he goes around and is a big time consultant for schools. He may make $500,000, $400,000 a year. Who knows? He may be a stockbroker. There's a variety of different professions, but none of these people ever talk about it, especially when you hear your athletes and entertainers. It's always money, 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 money. And if that's where they're at, that's where they're at. The problem is just that it pollutes so many people that don't live that type of lifestyle. And it has people thinking that that is the norm, and it's not the norm. But at the same time, a bunch of young'uns, and she's not even respectfully that young anymore, running around here unmarried, still chasing behind men, but comes from, I don't believe, I don't know if her Rev Run and her mother were married, but she has seen Rev Run be married to Diggy's mom and some of the other kids' moms. And I believe her older sister, can't remember her name, is married. So it's not like she doesn't have great examples right in her backyard as to what this thing should look like. Because as much money as some of these other guys that she's dated, she never married them. So it leaves the question, Angela and other women, what are you dating for? You dating just to get knocked off? You dating for money? You dating for clout? Or you just dating because you don't want to be alone? But hey, what do I know? I've never been married either. So guess what? Maybe I'm just as screwed up as anybody else. But I'm not going to put off my screwed up advice on to other people if I am screwed up. Live life. Don't let life live you.